Today, we focus on a historic moment in American politics as Donald Trump officially begins his second term as President of the United States. We'll not only explore what this new chapter means for the United States and the world, but also what is happening in the global sector. Good afternoon. Welcome to The Ambassador with me, your Ambassador Susan Nganga. To our top stories making headlines. President Donald Trump has returned to the White House, delivering an inaugural address that promised a golden age for the United States, while unveiling a radical agenda to reverse politics from the previous administration. His first day back in office saw sweeping executive orders aimed at rolling back federal initiatives on diversity, immigration, and climate politics. Trump claims a mandate to carry out these changes, vowing to end Americans' decline and begin a new era of prosperity. Abdi Hamid Ali has more.
That I will faithfully execute.
That I will faithfully execute.
The office of President of the United States.
The office of President of the United States.
And will, to the best of my ability.
And will, to the best of my ability.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
In his inaugural speech, President Donald Trump promised to lead the nation into a golden age, a message that was far from new, mirroring the rhetoric of his first inauguration. He vowed to ban diversity initiatives and a declaration that there are only two genders, and opting out of the Paris Climate Agreement, promising a revolution of common sense.
We'll forge a society that is colorblind and merit-based. As of today, it will henceforth be the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
Trump's first actions in office were swift and bold, signing a series of executive orders to repeal much of the Biden administration's legislative agenda. These orders included a freeze on new government regulations and a pardon for 1,500 January 6th insurrectionists.
For American citizens, January 20th, 2025 is Liberation Day.
And a national emergency to the U.S.-Mexico border.
First, I will declare a national emergency at our southern border. All illegal entry will immediately be halted, and we will begin the process of returning millions and millions of criminal aliens back to the places from which they came. We will reinstate my Remain in Mexico policy. I will end the practice of catch and release. And I will send troops to the southern border to repel the disastrous invasion of our country.
Trump signed multiple executive orders such as ending remote work for government workers. Trump also revoked actions aimed at reducing prescription costs.
Announced in your speech is a requirement that federal workers return to full-time in-person work immediately.
Trump said he will not immediately raise tariffs on Canada and Mexico. He hinted at a possible future economic sanctions. The radical nature of Trump's executive orders on his first day back in office has divided the country. His supporters cheered his determination to change course, while opponents warned that his actions could lead to further polarization and legal challenges. Trump's strategy is clear: to undo what he sees as the damage done by the Biden administration. Yet his policies continue to provoke strong controversy nationwide. Global reactions to Trump's inauguration has been negative, especially in Mexico and Panama. Locals are burning American flags and hitting Trump's effigy. Trump threatened to invade Mexico due to the rise of drug cartels and rename the Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America. He also declared that Panama Canal belongs to America. Trump's return to office has made it clear that the country is divided over the future direction of governance. His promise to erase the policies of his predecessor and to embark on a new chapter for America will likely spark debate and challenges in courts and Congress. As Trump pushes his radical agenda, the nation must confront whether his visions can bring about the unity and prosperity he promises, or if it will only exacerbate the divisions that have defined his political career. America is at a crossroads, and the next chapter in its history is unfolding now. This is Abdi Hamid Ali, GBS News.
President Samia Suluhu Hassan has been nominated by Tanzania's ruling party as its presidential candidate for the October election. While she has called for unity ahead of the vote, tensions remain high, with opposition parties decrying ongoing repression and lack of electoral reforms. Here is more on the same.
Tanzania's ruling party has nominated Samia Suluhu Hassan as its candidate for president ahead of the country's general elections in October. Hassan has called for unity ahead of the vote. The 64-year-old took office in 2021 following the sudden death of John Magufuli, who was accused of curbing certain freedoms and stamping out dissent. Initially, she was hailed for easing restrictions Magufuli had implemented on the opposition and media. However, rights groups and Western governments have since denounced what they view as renewed repressions of the opposition. Politicians from the main opposition, Chadema party, have been detained, and a series of opposition figures have been abducted and murdered. Last year, the party threatened to boycott elections if reforms to the electoral systems had not been put in place. Hassan's nomination set the stage for a highly anticipated election, marked by her calls for unity and the opposition's demands for reforms, highlighting the deep political divisions and challenges facing Tanzania's democratic process. Paris Kigo, GBS News.
In Washington, Donald Trump has officially assumed office as the 47th President of the United States. The inauguration ceremony marked a historic moment, drawing the attention of world leaders who sent their congratulations and pledged cooperation with the new administration.
World leaders wasted no time in reacting to the return of Donald Trump to the White House. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu expressed optimism, highlighting Trump's leadership in strengthening U.S. and Israel ties. Netanyahu also thanked the president for his effort in securing the release of Israeli hostages and expressed hope for future collaboration to address security concerns in Gaza. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan called for intensified effort with the Trump's administration to resolve the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine, emphasizing the need to swift peace in the region. Across Europe, leaders echoed their congratulations, underlining the importance of transic relations. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz emphasized the enduring bond between the US and Europe, while European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen voiced her commitment to tackling global challenges together with the new admission. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte highlighted the opportunity to turbocharge defense efforts, reinforcing the alliance's commitment to global security under Trump's leadership. From Canada, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau welcomed the opportunity to strengthen economic partnership with the U.S., while the UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer praised the long-standing collaboration between the two nations. In the Asia-Pacific region, leaders from Australia and New Zealand celebrated the robust alliance between their nations and the United States, looking forward for future opportunities in cooperation. In the Middle East, Syrian leader Ahmed al-Shara expressed hope that Trump's presidency would restore peace and stability in the region after years of conflict and suffering. As Trump begins his term, global leaders appear unified in their readiness to work with the new administration on pressing issues, from international security to economic collaboration. Joy Kura, GBS News.
Amnesty International has condemned the use of explosive weapons in the densely populated areas of the Democratic Republic of Congo's eastern provinces, as both the M23 rebels and the Congolese army have been accused of deploying these weapons with devastating consequences. The rights organization warns that the attacks, which have killed dozens of civilians, represent a clear violation of international humanitarian law and urges the International Criminal Court to open an investigation.
Amnesty International's latest reports paints a grim picture of the ongoing conflict in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, where the use of explosive weapons in civilian areas has reached alarming levels. Over the course of several months, these weapons, capable of causing widespread destruction, have been used more than 150 times, resulting in numerous casualties and widespread suffering. The rights group has called these attacks a breach of international law and insists that both the M23 rebels and the Congolese military must be held accountable. The United Nations has confirmed that since the beginning of the year, the fighting between the two nations has displaced over 100,000 people, many of them fleeing to overcrowded camps in search of safety. Amnesty's call for investigation by the International Criminal Court adds further pressure on international bodies to act as the situation in Eastern DRC continues to deteriorate. As the conflict rages on, the people of the region face unimaginable hardship, with civilians caught in the crossfire of a brutal war. Irene Juguna, GBS News.
Thank you for staying with us. We have covered some important stories today, but there is more to come. After the break, we'll delve deeper into the ongoing virus outbreak in Tanzania, an update on the Nigeria fuel explosion, and the Kenyan mission in Haiti. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back with more updates.
How is it for you as a parent? Are you having an adolescent? How is parenting for you?
But again, we have to be fair, firm, and friendly. We cannot parent without being friendly to these children. It's peer pressure not to be pure. Where the adolescents, they have a slogan, Mavajuni Fara. Parents, you have to be hot, raw, real, and nice.
How do we help our children to understand we are not from the West and we can never be the West? The reason as to why I'm bringing this out is because
we have to understand the trends. Because they tend to trade with what is trading. We have to be able to understand and tell our children, just because it is trading doesn't make it a trade.
But let's continue this conversation online across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144.
Fun. And the hyenas were there. They wanted to snatch the baby and tear that baby into pieces and eat.
Today, we're going to make a cactus in a pot. Hey, you, cold on. Are you biting your thumb at me?
I love my mommy. I love my mommy. Yes, I do.
Are you going to show love to your friend? I'm sure you are going to do that.
Friends, until next time, bye!
We are going to be talking about goal setting itself and building resilience. Goal setting and building resilience.
So huwezi sema nita set goal then someone else akuja kuwork on the goal. Hawezi sema uta set goal yenyewe mwenyewe huwezi reach. Hawezi sema uta set goal na mali una stand like huwezi reach ile goal umeset.
Just imagine I've promised someone that I will do something to them by the end of this year, and then surely I fail. What will happen? You know, they will say Steve has broken my heart.
Nimeset hata mimi goals but ni realistic goals.
Unajuaje ni realistic?
Because najua I'm capable of, like, they're realistic. They're making sense. Sijasema nanunua V8 by the end of the year. But because I know inaweza kuwa impossible because mtu anaangalianga. Si kumake tu. Unajua utaandika. By December 31st nataka kuwa na iPhone 16 Pro.
It is insane to do the same thing and expect different results. Yeah, so definitely we need to see, like, if it is not working, what is in this system that is making this thing fail, and I'm expecting these results. How can I improve this project?
The goals that you set, maybe ukiona, like, maybe that can be affected by kitu uwezi avoid.
About self-competition. I'm only in competition with the person I see in the mirror, and that is me. So it is about my personal development.
It's not just a matter of writing and putting and now waiting, you know.
So before I introduce our guest, our amazing guest for today, we have a very short clip for you guys. Hapa tunakuonesha pencil art, how to draw a portrait ya dem. Check this out.
Manze, me, I go by the name of Mike MG. I'm an artist, stroke rapper, stroke shrapper, stroke trapper. Yeah.
So hata before we start, wazazi wako walisemaje about your music? Did they support you?
I'm still young, need some guns, need some insight. Kuserereka tutadunda will be hell of a night. Autopilot zitashika will be on my flight. The sativa devil's ladies made me high like a kite.
So do you think msanii pia anafaa ku cloud chase ndio talent yake ionekane, ama inafaa kuwa only talent?
Go for Fenagito, I'd go for Octopizzo.
Octopizzo.
And I'd go for P-Unit.
Oh.
P-Unit as a whole. Wakiwa group.
CY Kiki.
Yes,
fresh. Hebu niambie ulikuwa unafikiria nini ukitengeneza hiyo video?
Kienda Music Festival nilikuwa nafanya mafoka. Mafoka ilikuwa performance ya kurap na Kiswahili.
What? Okay.
Yeah. Ni kama shairi lakini ni rap. Lazima ikuwe na articulate message. Yeah, hadi tukafika finali huko Kasa.
Welcome everyone. It's your girl Alice and this is GBS TV Art Club, the best art show in Eastern Africa.
Everywhere, GBS. Welcome back to the bulletin. Yemen's Houthis have announced a limitation on their attacks against commercial vessels, restricting them to Israel-linked ships, provided a ceasefire in Gaza is fully implemented. The Humanitarian Operation Coordination Center, based in Sana'a, made a statement highlighting that it will also cease, and I quote, sanctions against vessels owned by the United States or British entities. The development comes after a series of attacks in the Red Sea that have disrupted international shipping routes.
The Houthi militia, backed by Iran, has carried out over 100 attacks on ships since November 2023, sinking 2 vessels, seizing 1, and causing the death of many seafarers. These attacks have targeted key waterways, including the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden, threatening global trade. While many shipping companies have avoided the region, others remain cautious, waiting for the ceasefire to hold and insurance cost to ease. The situation leaves many industries in limbo, with uncertainty hindering the return of shipping operations in the area. The situation in the Red Sea remains fragile, with global shipping companies and insurers watching closely. The future of this vital trade route depends on whether the ceasefire holds and whether security can be restored. The impact of these decisions will not only affect international trade, but could also influence the region's political stability, underlying the connectivity of global economies. This is Abdihamid Ali, GBS News.
Tanzania's President Samia Suluhu has confirmed a case of Marburg virus in the Kagera region, marking the country's second outbreak of the disease since 2023, though health authorities have assured the situation is under control.
Tanzania's President Samia Suluhu Hassan has announced that a sample from isolated part of the country has tested positive for Marburg disease.
Laboratory tests conducted at Kabaile Mobile Laboratory in Kagera and later confirmed in Dar es Salaam identified one patient as being infected with the Marburg virus. Fortunately, the remaining suspected patients tested negative with other illnesses. This confirmed case of Marburg virus marks the second outbreak of Marburg virus disease in our country. As you may recall, 2023 in the same Kagera region.
25 other samples were negative. The announcement came days after the country's health minister said there were no cases of the disease in the country. The World Health Organization Director General Tedros said he did not currently see a cause for alarm.
Considering the low global risk and the strong capabilities of the Tanzanian government, WHO advises against restrictions on trade and travel to the country. And as Her Excellency said, Tanzania is open for business.
A highly infectious disease, Marburg virus can be fatal in a majority of cases if not treated. The confirmation of a new Marburg virus case in Tanzania highlights ongoing health challenges, but authorities remain confident in the ability to manage the outbreak and minimize its impact. Paris Kigo, GBS News.
A gasoline tanker explosion in north-central Nigeria has claimed the lives of at least 98 people. The explosion occurred on Saturday near Suleja in the Niger State after people attempted to transfer fuel from a crashed tanker using a generator.
Of Saturday, a deadly blast rocked the Suleja area of Niger State, north-central Nigeria. The explosion occurred after several individuals tried to siphon gasoline from a crashed tanker into another truck using a generator for the transfer. Tragically, the sparks from the generator ignited the gasoline, causing a massive explosion. Local authorities, including the National Emergency Management Agency, confirmed that at least 98 people were killed in the blast. Many victims were bystanders who gathered to collect gasoline from the scene. The explosion has left officials in shock as they continue to assess the aftermath. Wesini Issa, head of operation for Niger State Emergency Management, stated that the death toll could rise as investigations continue. The incident has shed light on ongoing issue in Nigeria, where fuel scarcity and soaring prices following the removal of gasoline subsidies have led many people to dangerously gather fuel from fallen tankers. The Nigerian government has expressed deep concern over this practice, but the country's ongoing economic challenges continue to push people to take such risks. Authorities urge citizens to stay away from incident sites, especially in cases involving hazardous materials like gasoline. This tragedy marks another dark chapter in Nigeria's ongoing struggle with fuel-related accidents and dangerous ways some citizens trying to survive amidst economic hardship. Joy Kuria, GBS News.
In a crucial step towards stabilizing Haiti, the Kenyan police continued their intensive patrol operations across major towns. Their mission to restore peace and security for the Haitian people who have endured ongoing violence and instability caused by criminal gangs through a strategic ground and aerial surveillance, including the use of drone technology. These dedicated officers are working tirelessly to secure vital areas.
For weeks, Kenyan police have been deployed in Haiti, conducting round-the-clock patrols to bring much-needed peace to the nation. As part of broader international effort, these officers are ensuring that gang activity no longer terrorizes the streets. By utilizing both traditional ground patrols and advanced aerial surveillance, including cutting-edge drones, the Kenyan forces are maintaining a vigilant presence day and night. The objective is simple: to ensure the safety of Haitian civilians and pave the way for the return of displaced families to their homes. Superintendent of Police Edwin Kolil, overseeing the operation, assures that the Kenyan team will not cease until peace is firmly restored. With their unwavering dedication, the Kenyan police continue to be a beacon of hope for the citizens of Haiti, as efforts to restore normalcy and order in the country move forward. Irene Juguna, GBS News.
Riots in South Sudan have left 16 Sudanese nationals dead following escalating tensions over alleged killings in Sudan's El Gezira region. The violence highlights growing anger among South Sudanese citizens about events unfolding across the border.
The Strait of Juba in other parts of South Sudan turned into a scene of chaos. Last week, riots broke out on Thursday and Friday. Protesters claimed that Sudan's military and allied group were involved in ethically targeted killings in El Gezira, sparking outrage in South Sudan. In a statement on Monday, South Sudan's National Police confirmed the death of 16 Sudanese nationals across 4 states during the unrest. The violence came after human rights groups accused Sudan's army of targeting civilians suspected of supporting the rebel Rapid Support Forces in Al Gezira. Sudan's military acknowledged what is called individual violation, but denied broader accusation of organized attack. South Sudanese authorities have since intensified security measures. The police are patrolling market and residential area to protect Sudanese nationals living in South Sudan. A dusk to dawn curfew, imposed on Friday, remains in effect as part of effort to restore order. At least 24 suspects have been arrested in connection with the violence, and investigations are ongoing. Once completed, charges will be filed, according to a statement from South Sudan military. The riots underscore how religion conflict can spill across borders, with tension in El Gezira triggering tragic consequences in South Sudan. Both governments now face the challenge of de-escalating tension and ensuring that the safety of all civilians on both sides of the border. Joy Kuria, GBS News.
And that international news marks the end of our bulletin today. Be sure to tune in tomorrow, same place, same time at 1 p.m. I have been your ambassador, Susan Nganga. Good afternoon.